Yeah.
Squeaks a lot over there.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1177 of FloWrestling Radio, live from Austin, Texas. Special Monday, special show. We got JD, Spay, and Kozak in studio. Joining us live from the concrete jungle, the bad guy. You know him as Chael P. Sonnen. There he is, always ready to bring it. Anytime, rain or shine, time zones don't matter. Chael makes the walk. How you doing, buddy?
Gentlemen, I am fired up, man. We had the Bill Ferrell over the weekend, which, by the way, somehow slipped past me. I didn't know the Ferrell happened until it was done. And as a fan, that's very fun because then you get all the results. You can go right to the quarters and semis, and you can read all about it. Had a great weekend. I'm thrilled to be with you.
Thrilled to have you, Chael. It's a huge week in wrestling, huge week in MMA. Obviously, you're in New York City for the UFC fights that are coming up Saturday. Right off the rip, NCAA wrestling is here. What are the top storylines that has you most excited? Obviously, we're kind of talking a lot about the national duels coming up this weekend. What stands out to you?
Well, sure. Let's start with that. I mean, first off, I love the duels. They've been talking about it forever. I'm going to state the obvious, forgive me, but the Penn State isn't there. You know, that's a very tough one. But what about these other teams? Listen, the greatest story, and this was true last year too. I know I told you this last year, but it was true last year too, and it's true now. The greatest story in the NCAA right now, the most competitive story in all of NCAA sport is the race for number 2 in wrestling. And nobody wants to talk about it, but it is so compelling. And quite frankly, that's really what these national duels are about. And I know that's going to offend some college teams, but I don't think being second in the country is an insult. You might remember one year, it was Rob Cole, but Cornell got second, and it was like their second time in a row. So they interviewed him, and they were really down in the dumps just because that's how everybody says, you know, and their heart's broken. And Rob Cole comes out and goes, we're thrilled with number 2. It's like, do you have any idea how hard it is? Our goal used to be to break into the top 10. Then you have a goal to break into the trophy hunt. Now we're just one spot away. And I appreciated that he said that. And I just think there's so much to celebrate. There's so much iron on top of iron. There's so much courage that it takes to make that walk this early, not to mention some playboy out of Stillwater's putting up $1 million for wrestling. This is an awesome story with or without the Nittany Lions.
Exactly right. Now, as we look at this bracket, you've got Iowa, the top seed, 2nd seed Nebraska, 3rd Ohio State, and then the 4th seed Oklahoma State. What of those teams really stand out to you as we come into the national duels?
Well, okay. I mean, come on. Whoever did this found a way and blessed their little crooked heart to get Iowa and Oklahoma State on the same side. I do not believe that they truly see it quite as 1 and 4. I believe they are presenting that. Hey, you remember the World Championships, was it 2 years ago? And they just happened to draw Sadulayev versus David Taylor in the first round. But as wrestling fans, we were happy for that level of corruption, right? We're like, hey, that's wonderful. Get those two together, whatever it takes, get them on the mat. It's the biggest match UWW has. Bring it to us first round if you have to. So, hey, what jumps out? How good is Nebraska, by the way? Manning plays these things very cool. Manning was one of the stars, again, of all NCAA, every sport combined. What he went and pulled off at Nationals last year was shocking. We had no idea. And now he's added a national champion. They got Ferrari ranked number 2. I'll drink to number 2, but either way, to walk a guy in that we can all at least agree is going to put some points up on the board when you're already number 2. I think the Nebraska story is a pretty good one. And I think much like last year, they're going a little overlooked this year.
What do you think about Ferrari moving up to the heavyweight class? How do you think he can compete there?
I love it, and I hope that he stays. I spoke to him one time, and he just simply said, hey, what do you weigh? What do you weigh right when you're training? Because he trains very, very hard, and it is so difficult. People will never really understand this because particularly in wrestling, we try to lose weight. It is so hard to train at that level. and gain weight. Like when Tony Two Fingers, when God bless you, when Anthony Cesar did it, it was a really big surprise. How do you keep up on Chael's schedule and eat at a surplus? It is so difficult to do. So anyway, I just asked him, what do you weigh? And he was 240, and he might have been just a little more right, that 239, 241 range. And the relevance, though, because he did make this comment, and I almost wish that he hadn't made the comment. He said, Manning is leaving it up to me. If I want to feel this out and I change my mind and go back to 97, that I can. And I wish that one part wasn't there. 240 is big enough. I hope that he's all committed. That could have been just how he felt one day. This was about 2 months ago. But how do I feel about him up there? I think he's the top guy. I think his level of athleticism is a problem. I think he can get to the legs as well as anybody since Stephen Neal, at least for that weight class. But then I think that mentally he thinks that maybe he's just a little bit too small.
Interesting. For the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And that guy's very mental, man. That guy, I mean, and his mind is his power. His mind is his super strength. I mean, he believed that without a redshirt year at 190 pounds, he can come in and win the NCAA title, which, by the way, he had to go through the Olympic bronze medalist to do. Like, his mind is a powerful thing, but it's a real thing. If he's got these little doubts, and then he gets out there with somebody like, just say Feldman, just for example, who's very big, it's something to look at. I think Ferrari's going to be just fine, but that is my final analysis.
He also gets his power from the earth healing frequency.
Yeah.
As we all know.
Yeah.
Yes, he.
Okay.
And there was something about organic toilet paper, which, by the way, is a little bit gross. Like, I don't really like potty humor, but
Me
to
either.
your point, yes, he does have, right? He's using some deodorant without aluminum, and it's kind of like Homer Simpson said, whether it's true or it's not true, as long as you believe it. And he does believe that he's paying a higher price, and I think it's pretty cool to see.
That's what I was going to say is, especially with people like AJ and really national champions, you just basically have to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you have to believe stuff that you shouldn't be able to believe. It is statistically impossible that you're going to win a national title, but you just have to believe it.
Yes. And then you got to believe that you're paying a higher price. Well, how do you do that? Right. You're in the morning doing an hour and 15 minutes of whatever that is, conditioning, weightlifting, a drill. You come in the afternoon, everybody universe, they spend about 2 hours in the room. How do you actually pay a higher price when you're all doing about the same thing? And then that's where it comes in, because I'm eating, I'm sleeping different. My aluminum deodorant, that's the stuff that you start to convince yourself. Very fascinating. Can I tell you guys something? I'm sorry to be wordy. Terry Brands put something out years ago, and it was one of the most important things, and so many athletes missed it. Terry Brands was talking about Cejudo. Cejudo would come up to him. This was an interview on Flow, but Cejudo would come up to him and said, how do we guarantee that I win the Olympics? And Terry said, every day after practice, you must do something that nobody else is doing. Now, people didn't understand what Terry was saying. They think that he just told them you need to do some extra. No. He was very specific. You got to do something that nobody else is doing. So if that's a pull-up and sit-up routine while other guys are drilling, if that's a whatever it is, but no one else can do it, because that's how you convince yourself, I deserve. Because I'm the only one that knew to do, and whatever that one thing might be. It doesn't have to pertain to wrestling. You just have to believe it.
Yeah. Exactly. And Terry, even after he says that, and he's like, and he had this little routine, those push-ups or whatever. He said it didn't actually matter what that was. Basically said what you just said. I mean, think about John Smith getting up at 3 a.m. or whatever to train when the Russians train. Did that really win him? Who knows? But it probably gave him that edge as well.
I'm glad that you get that. I ran into that problem in college where for a part of the season, we had to do 2 a day as a team. And I remember thinking, like, no, we can't do 2 a day, but because that second workout's got to be on your own. And whether you're working harder than your teammate or you're not, no one's around. So you can now convince yourself that you're working harder. And I hated that time of the season where everybody's doing 2 a days, because you can literally look around and you got a guy that worked harder than you. He's a little faster, he's smaller, or whatever it might be. That's a negative. Nobody gets better doing 2 a days. The team's got to do 1, and then you got to let the guy find that second one on his own. It is a key element. And if you go to any of the champions, I'm telling you, that's something that's not considered. That's an element they must have. You cannot have that team together twice a day.
Interesting. Okay.
Very interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
The top of the bracket, the Iowa Hawkeyes, Angelo Ferrari. We talked about AJ. Angelo going to be starting off with a really tough kid, Aiden Sinclair, in his first matchup. Just overall thoughts on Iowa, this Missouri duel. And you could also see Ferrari take on Zach Ryder, who had quite a debut a week and change ago.
I like this haircut, Kyle. This is very subtle. Yeah, this is very subtle. This is like maybe you waited 2 weeks and went and get this. Is very subtle, but I can see it. You look very nice. You want to know something else interesting? I was telling you about the 2-a-day training. You want to know something else that's insane? I can't tell you who told me this. College coach told me they don't like to recruit kids with tattoos. And I said, okay. And I thought it was just a comment. And then later he circled back to it and he started to tell me why. And he said that a kid at that age, a kid is only going to make so many commitments, particularly by the time you get him at 18 years old. And if he's got tattoos, it means he's already made his commitments. And then, okay, that's just one coach's opinion. Like, fair enough and no problem. But then I asked another college coach, just purely curious. And then I asked another one. I ended up going to a total of 3 coaches. They all told me that. Like, that is a belief to some degree with college coaches. They actually look for their tattoos, and then psychologically it ties into a level of commitment. I thought you'd find that fascinating. What are you asking me about?
Angelo.
Are we calling these the national duels, or are we calling these the Stillwater duel?
National Duels Invitational, sponsored by Paycom.
Should we be calling it that, or should we just be calling it the Oklahoma State duels?
It's in Tulsa, so it's not in Stillwater. But yeah.
You got me. I love it. What was the matchup?
Ferrari, Sinclair, Iowa, Missouri, and then potentially Ferrari Ryder down the line.
Ferrari is your answer. And we're already starting to see a little bit of this. Like, when you get that new kid on the block, maybe he can't hold it up for an entire season. That's the one thing about being an NCAA champion. It's very hard to hold this up nonstop. But that new kid, that top kid, the Super 32 champion, the blue chipper that took his redshirt year, comes in historically and knocks a few guys off. As a matter of fact, we saw the Oklahoma State kid do that to the Stanford kid yesterday. But that's not to say that he can do that in 3 months. Like, historically, that new kid blue chipper puts a few good matches together. I think Ferrari's special. I think he's probably going to put about 32 good matches together. But just to prove the point, those are Ferrari's matches to lose.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Even against McAnally? If they were to somehow hit?
They would have to hit in the finals. But yeah, what do you think about that match? McAnally of Minnesota, U20 world champ.
I don't think he can beat McAnally right now. I don't think he can. No. No. Okay, so as you know, I got invited into the Iowa room. And so when you ask me Iowa questions, I have to do these automatic deductions of what have I learned publicly versus what did I learn privately. Because if I reveal what I learned privately, my invitation to the Iowa room just got caught on fire. But with that said, Ferrari is still a boy, and there is strength issues, not wrestling, specifically strength. And McAnally is a man like nobody else in the NCAA. I mean, he is one of the elite. McAnally right now is just too much man for Ferrari. I think it would come down to strength. Not to mention, McAnally's got a big heart, man. He was in overtime with Carter Starace last year. That's hard to do.
Yeah, amazing matchup. Yeah, McAnally.
And then he won the world. To your point, sorry to cut you. And then he just won the world. I mean, if you're the world champion, you probably believe you can go win the opening round at the national duel. I guess you said that'd be the final round, but the point's the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you mentioned the Oklahoma State, their opening duel against Stanford. Were you able to catch that? Any standout performances there from the Cowboys?
What are you wearing on the bottom? Are you wearing pajamas right now?
No, these are J. Crew. These are J. Crew. They're like wool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, those are fantastic. All right. So you are comfortable, but they're not quite a match. I'm colorblind. I thought this was all like a blend together. I thought you were trying to like.
Oh, does it look like a grout fit to a colorblind?
I could be in underwear right now, right? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. When you come from the top up, I thought you were trying to pull one off here, perhaps.
No way. No, these are serious pants.
J. Crew long johns.
Yeah, J. Crew. They're not long johns. Don't start that.
I promise. I really do want the question. All right. What was the question again?
Did you watch Oklahoma State against Stanford. You referenced
I
the
read
Robert
about it.
match.
I watched it, but I watched with the read about. So I know everything that happened.
They're starting 5 freshmen this year. Yeah. Just thoughts on starting such a young lineup, and is this, everyone's talking about them trying to climb the ladder to get towards Penn State. Do you think they have the talent coming in to eventually contend?
Oh yeah. First off, this Facundo, there is nobody in the NCAA not getting the credit that he deserves right now, like Facundo. Facundo got the jump on Levi Haynes 6-0 to 0 at Penn State.
Yeah.
Right? This was at Rec Hall. It's a very big deal. And then I also think that this Ryder kid, it's going to be a big stretch for Facundo and Ryder to win the NCAAs. However, they could. That's not getting ruled out by. There's no sports book giving you $1 million to 1 on that one. That would probably be more like 6 or 7 to 1, which means they could. And if that duo, if Facundo and Ryder do win the tournament, I mean, just not for nothing, but I look at what Dean Hamidi did, who, by the way, might have been supposed to be get the OW last year. Like that was a very weird thing. And Carter did 5 in a row. Dean Hamidi took out 2 world medalists. He took out 2 NCAA champions. I mean, I really think he might have had the event of the tournament. But if they were to duplicate that, if Facundo was to duplicate that, if Ryder was to duplicate that, these guys all of a sudden are players. And I don't mind the young. I know people love to talk about young, but we really see it the other way. We really see it with the older guys, and a guy is he's had enough. I mean, there are more seniors that botch it and are All-Americans, and they go out on day 1 at the NCAA tournament. They didn't do that as sophomores. They didn't do that as juniors. There's something about that finish line. There's something about your senior year where a lot of guys screw it up. Mm-hmm. It's less your freshman year without that pressure on you. And I don't know where Facundo's headed at, by the way. Can you fill me in on that? That dude's a killer, but then he sat out for a season. Was he dealing with an injury, or he just couldn't get in the lineup?
Well, I think it was both, but I think at the end of, or maybe early last year, he did have an injury that kept him out for this season. So I interviewed him. That should be going up soon. He said he has 2 years left for sure, and he could have a third if he wants it. So he's got this year, next year for sure, and then it's uncertain if he would take that third year or if he could get it. But last year could be a medical for Alex, yes.
And to my knowledge, though, he also didn't do any age group stuff. So he was hurt. Is that right? Or did he enter some U23s that I missed? I don't think he did.
He did not. You're correct. He has not wrestled since last fall for the Nittany Lions.
He's good, man. He's good. It's a long season, but he does remind me of Dean Hamidi. I guess that's why I brought up that example. He reminds me of him. No, I like Oklahoma State. I like their lineup. I like the way that they do it. And there's some arguments that they don't always do a wrestle-off. I know that they do their wrestle-off, but they don't always follow it. Just by example, Cody Merrill, we're told lost, but we're also told Cody Merrill is going to be a starter. What happened there? What's the gossip? Why is he starting?
I think so. It's a wrestle-off. It's like a piece of data is kind of how they look at it. He did lose the wrestle-off. Daniel talked about that. And I think, will it get the guy that beat him or some opportunities? Maybe, but more than anything, Merrill proved a lot last year. He beat some good guys. He beat an All-American and Isaiah Salazar last year. So I think he's just a more proven guy, and they want to see what they have with him. And so I think
Merrill's an All-American. Yes, if you hold the national tournament, Merrill will be on the stand. I fully agree with that. But the piece of data, I mean, if you can sell that to the guys, that seems like the one that would be tough for morale. But I know coaches that do it, and it never really seems to get the team down. Everybody seems to kind of understand.
Well, I would say that probably the message that I'm not speaking for anyone, but I think the competition's open and these guys are going to have opportunities. Oklahoma State's going to the Southern Scuffle. They're going to bring 16 wrestlers to the national duels. They're going to use a variety of lineups, I would suspect, over the course of the year. So I would say it's open to be won. It's just the likelihood is that Merrill's going to keep that spot. If you ask me, I don't see anyone running him down.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Merrill's a problem. So is his brother, man. Those two guys, they're very good at wrestling. That's for sure.
Yeah, super good. You talked about the Bill Farrell, and before the shows, I think it was before the shows, you were talking about Bo Bassett, just kind of what impressed you about Bo and how he wrestled this weekend.
this is a personal statement. No one's even going to know about this but me, but I do know it and I do feel it. And I owe Bo an apology. I have been very hard on Bo. Now, I've been hard on Bo because I'm a fan. I have to have guys that I don't like. I have to be able to cheer and I have to be able to boo. It's what a fan is. But Bo bothered me when he decommitted to Iowa. It bothers me when anybody decommits anywhere. I feel like you're going back on your word. I also came from a time when a letter of intent and it carried a little bit more weight. So maybe I got a little old school. But I got to take it back, man. This Bo Bassett has won me over. The number one thing that is annoying for me is our good wrestlers don't want to wrestle. Our really good wrestlers don't wrestle. I mean, when we go look at our world team guys, we get them in 3 events a year, one of which is the trials and one of which is the world. We then get them in something else, and that's generally it. You get a guy like Bo Bassett, and Bo Bassett, by the way, started to win me. I had to start to look at this guy a little differently in Fargo. I loved that he entered Fargo. I love that he was out there supporting Jax, but I love that he jumped in the tournament himself. You know, that was the first real sign of, hey, this guy's a wrestler. I don't like, it bothers me when age group guys don't go to the age groups. Or we got to know who the best guy in the nation is. And if it's you, you got to enter the tournament. So I appreciated that. But now I'm just coming to this year. You know, he wrestled last weekend and then in collegiate, and then all of a sudden he jumps into a freestyle event, which was not easy. He runs into a former U.S. Open finalist. He runs into an NCAA finalist. Of course, I'm talking about Bo Bartlett. Mm-hmm. And you know, and goes right through him. He puts the points up. He attacks him. I used to think that Bo was a little bit of a bully. I didn't love the Super 32s where he's taking a guy down and letting him go and putting 20 points on the board. I didn't love that. I think if you can kick a guy's ass, go kick his ass. However, my notion that he's a bully goes away when he's willing to do the same thing to Bo Bartlett that he's willing to do to a sophomore that got into the Super 32. So I take it back. I had it wrong on Bo. He seems like a wonderful kid. I owe Bo an apology, and there it is.
There it is. Yeah, pretty impressive performance. If you recall, at the World Team Trials, he beat Bo Bartlett 1-0. And then here, the level of separation was noticeable, winning by tech over someone with this kind of
Christian, don't you agree that that's amazing, considering Bo Bartlett said goodbye to collegiate and is fully focused on freestyle? You got Bo Bassett wrestled collegiate last week in Virginia. Yeah. So I always find that amazing. You know, when Kyle Snyder was doing it at 2 weight classes in 2 different styles his senior year when he's got to go with Gwiz up at, 285, and he's wrestling, at the Euregan at 97 kilograms in a different style. That's an incredible thing to do. What's going to happen when Bo actually focuses? What's going to happen in 28 and 2032 when he's locked in? It's a really incredible thing. I called this, by the way. You might not give me any credit. I told everybody Virginia Tech was a player, and people were saying it was between Rutgers and Nebraska. And I really did think that Rutgers and Nebraska were, but I would then tell people, hey, I'm hearing it's Virginia Tech. I'm hearing it's Virginia Tech. And that got dismissed, and it ends up being Virginia Tech. And man, this is how it starts. These dominoes start to fall. You go get 1 killer or 2 killers, turns into 3 and 4 and 5, as you know. Those guys are like magnets, and they attract things. This is huge news for Virginia. It's huge news for wrestling, in my opinion.
Totally agree. Yeah, absolutely. And they got Melvin Miller as well, who
awesome. He might be the best athlete. As far as an athlete, he might be the best athlete in high school sport right now.
He's fantastic. I think, the debate is like, which one of these guys is actually going to be better, because they're both so elite. And, Melvin's, he's also he beat Brandon Cannon last week, had a solid showing at the Bill Farrell. Yeah, who knows how good he's going to be, but yeah.
How did he end up at the Farrell? How did he end up? I didn't realize he was there. Someone took him out.
Yeah, he lost to Ian Parker, who's beaten a lot of
tough SOB.
Yeah, Parker's tough. I think he beat some guys.
Melvin had a close match with Caleb Henson, 8-6.
8-6 with Henson.
Yeah, he lost.
And then Tyler Kasak wound up winning, which it kind of signals Kasak to redshirt PJ going right off the rip for Penn State at 157. Your thoughts on PJ Duke?
Before we move on to the PJ Duke question for you, Chael, is there any concern about maybe the miles Bo and Melvin are putting on their body at such a young age? just competing the amount of times they do compete and the amount they wrestle. That
Yep,
it won't hold up
me,
until they get to it won't hold up for a whole college career potentially.
I see it that same way, and nobody knows that. Nobody understands. You do when it's all done. You look back, but I'll just. It's a gun, and you've only got so many bullets, and you don't know how many are in that chamber. You just don't know. And one day, more than anything, the number one thing that retires guys is the weight cut. The number one thing is guys don't want to make the weight anymore. They don't want to live that lifestyle that it takes to beat the scale. Nobody ever talks about it. It is the number one reason guys retire. And then to use Bo specifically, because 145.5 pounds historically has the number one knee injuries in the country. Or in the world rather. And for whatever that reason is, but those guys hurt their knees more time. And every time Bo wrestles, I do think about that. How many more shots can that knee do? How many more limp legs can that knee do? And I just share that with you that, yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen. That's before a guy discovers beer and gets a girlfriend. I mean, like there's things that happen when you gotta get off into college. And he does do a lot of matches. Yes, I think that I think the net positive is probably there, but I think that that's a very legitimate concern.
Because I feel like we see more injuries now in college sports as a whole, not just wrestling, than we did 20 years ago when guys were getting twice as many matches in a season. And my only thought for that reason is athletes are getting bigger, faster, stronger, and probably more likely they're putting more miles on their body as a youth wrestler and a high school wrestler. I don't know. It's a complete hypothesis, so I don't know that to be true, but it is strange.
Well, I have that same thought. I know that's for sure a phenomenon. I mean, because I've noticed that same thing as you have. And then when you stay busy, it's kind of like an accumulation. Yeah, my shoulder's kind of hurting. Man, I got a tournament next week. Let's just push through it. And then now it's really kind of starting to bother me. Well, but the trials are in a week. I got to go to practice on Monday. I don't quite have time to deal with it. And that's how those little nagging, those little things actually turn into an injury. So yeah, man, rest is very important. Our leadership in wrestling never really got credit for it, but after Fargo, there's about a 7 to 9 week break in the calendar. That break isn't just there because coaches are tired and don't want to go to the room. Like we've got to do that with athletes, particularly young ones. We got to keep them out of the room, let their bodies recover. All right, let's start this whole miserable process over again. we got to have them some breaks in there.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
No doubt about it. Okay. Kasich won the FRL. PJ Duke likely wrestling right away for Penn State. Just your thoughts on PJ, his amazing spring and summer that this kid had.
I never really seen anything like it. What he did, I realized that his last tournament was a huge surprise, but everybody gets to have a bad day. That best of 3 with Yanni. What happened in the first match is what should have happened. The 4-time champion kicked the 18-year-old's ass. That's exactly what should have happened. Maybe a 17-year-old. That's what should have happened. But now you got to understand, an hour and 20 minutes later, the same 2 guys are doing the same exact thing in different color singlets. That's the only thing that's different. There was a 20-point swing. Duke went from getting tech to teching Yanni. That is shocking. There was a 20. How do you swing 20 points in an hour and 25 minutes? That was really the most amazing thing. And yes, Duke is something so special. I saw that news. I saw that he's going to wrestle. They also said that Aaron Nagao is going to jump into the lineup. Maybe when I read that, because that's actually not what I'm hearing, I thought that maybe somebody was making a little bit more guesses than they had inside scoop. But look, whether they go with Kasich or they go with Duke, they got great options. And Duke has proven he could beat everybody in the world. He can definitely beat everybody in the country.
Yeah. What did you hear about, or what are you hearing that's counter to Nagao wrestling?
Well, I did not hear that. Not only did I hear it wasn't going to be Nagao, I heard that Nagao is number 3 in that weight class. And so, that's kind of a big difference being number 3 than going. Now, is Brayton Davis even looking at that weight? I can't totally confirm it. He is going to redshirt. They bring the Japanese kid over, and that one's been a little bit unclear as well. They're talking about that he's a junior. He's going to get a redshirt year and a regular year, but how they came up with that math, I don't quite know. but then is he a 33 pounder or he's a 41 pounder? I'm just saying there's just a few things that I'm hearing that we're very. I heard specifically Aaron Nagau's the number 3 guy in the room, that he's not only not the starter, he's not even the backup. That's what I was told.
Yeah,
I was told that the likelihood that he ever puts a singlet on again is very small.
Oh, wow. That would surprise me. I think Blaze goes this year at 33. I think Massa red shirts. So that takes them kind of out of the equation. Nagau goes 41 and Braden red shirts because he has one. But I would say this, if Nagau is not looking like an All-American, I think they'll quickly pull Braden's shirt and put him in there if they think he gives them a better option. They're going to wrestle their best guy at 41. That's not Marcus Blaze or Masa Ono.
And by the way, Masa Ono, and I feel like what I just said was a little negative towards Nagau. Nagau's a complete stud. I followed him at Minnesota. I watched him. I know his coach. I watched everything he did. It's just a really tough room. And I was just told, that he was kind of struggling. We talked about 20 minutes ago that Facundo had that same situation last year. And now I'm telling you, he's an outside shot to win the title. So I didn't mean it as a negative to Nagau. I'd just like to clear that up. But what is going on with Ono, and why do they have him, but they're going to put Blaze in? Are they doing a wrestle off? Has he not figured out collegiate yet? What is your belief there?
I think they want to maximize the time they have with Ono. And so if he truly only has a 1 year of eligibility and you can redshirt him, then you get him an extra year to learn the idiosyncrasies of folk style. You get Marcus in a year, and then you can switch those two if you want. Just gives them flexibility, I think, down the line, and you get to maximize this guy who is one of the, he's the best in the world, right? So how good can he be a year from now is a real question. So I think that's why they're doing it that way.
And big information, by the way, when we found out that he's got a redshirt year and then he's got a regular, big information, because we did kind of think as fans, hey, what are you doing? You brought in the one guy on earth that Blaze has problems with. But now all of a sudden you start to see the formula. You start to see the brilliance. Now they didn't really step on each other's toes. If this information turns out to be accurate, I think that it's still forming right now. But that would be pretty cool. I really didn't like that they brought in the only guy on earth that can beat Blaze, and they found a way to get him to the room. But it does make a lot more sense now if it's a red shirt followed by one.
Yeah, and I think internationally they're going to drift different directions. I think Moss is a 57 in an Olympic year. I think Blaze is going to be a 65 when it's all said and done. Maybe that could change, but I don't think so. Mm-hmm. And so with that in mind, and also they're just going to make each other better. But yeah, before we let you go, Chael, I want to talk about this UFC card, the excitement around it. We dive into UFC very rarely, but just what has you excited about this weekend? How fun is it to get to be in your role for a major fight weekend like this?
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Because it is fun, and I actually feel grateful. I never stopped being a fan. When I get to call a wrestling match, or when I get to go to the fights, I'm a fan. So the fact that I even get to be there, it's a very interesting one. And let me just share from my perspective. I'm not here with the UFC. I'm here with ESPN. Now, the reason that's interesting, ESPN doesn't have the rights to the UFC January 1st at 12:01 in the morning. So we've only got 2 events left. We've got the Madison Square Garden, and then we'll go out to T-Mobile in Vegas. But I'm personalizing it. So from my perspective, I have not missed a pay-per-view in 7 years. I'm not with this new crew. I'm not with they went over to Paramount. I'm not with Paramount. I'm with ESPN. So my only point is, my days could be numbered. Like, as much as I'm enjoying seeing these events, I'm enjoying them even more knowing I will only have 2 more events. So my father-in-law, Steve, came out here. We go to the Garden. He comes every single year, and it's just a special event. Then we got wrestling is on display through this Islam Makhachev, who oddly didn't have any wrestling matches, but he trained every single day with the boys in Dagestan. He trains with the Olympic champions and does quite well, just took his skill over to MMA, which I think is just a fascinating concept. I mean, even Khabib, they go out and they represent Sambo. That's not Sambo. That's freestyle wrestling. That's Greco-Roman wrestling. I think that it's very cool for our sport. We used to be kings, and it's not like that anymore. I mean, MMA has become its own sport. I've got to give them credit. I think Gable Steveson is going to come in and bring us honor back. I think that Bo Nickel, I still believe that he is going to go on and be a world champion, but it's tough. You know, the sport, it's just, MMA is just not a wrestler's paradise quite like it used to be. And that's a credit to them. Hey, can I tell you, talking about Gable Steveson, the UFC right now does not have, and I'm not telling you in the top 5, I'm not telling you in the top 10. They do not have under contract in the heavyweight division an NCAA All-American. And I'm using that as your basis. Before we get into world team members or Olympians or medalists, I'm using that as the basis. As a matter of fact, they do not have under contract a single guy that went to the NCAA tournament. Now, before I get any fun factors correcting me, that actually changed over the weekend. They got this kid named Hokett, and he came in from Fresno State. He just got signed. He's had one fight in the UFC. Prior to him, though, it's been 4 years. When Daniel Cormier retired, that was the last NCAA All-American that was even under contract. So I really do think, like, to say that wrestlers aren't quite as dominant as they used to be, well, we're not getting the same opportunities as we used to get.
Right. Within your role, Chael, are you allowed to, like, predict? Will you make predictions?
Yeah.
Like, who
Absolutely.
Who do you have in the main event?
Okay, so here's the thing, and you got to understand this. When two guys are going to the ring, it is no different than the wrestling mat. Both guys know who's going to win. That is 99% true statement. It is not the confidence that everyone tells you, and you must believe in yourself. That's an act. Both guys know who's going to win that match. Now, the truly greats, the ones that separate and go down in history, both guys really think that it's them. And so when I'm looking at a fight, like, let's just use the main event. When I'm looking at a fight, the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out, who do these guys think is going to win? Well, Islam did not enter this weight class. He did not leave his belt and go to this weight for just anybody. He had a very specific opponent, which is Jack. And he even said, I'm only coming up if Jack wins. If Belal Muhammad wins, and he said, because they were friends and training partners, but whatever the reason is, he did not just enter the division and take on all comers. He was coming to the division if it was Jack. Now, Jack, on the other hand, does have to take all comers, and when he was planning on who he's going to have to fight, he never once considered Islam because Islam wasn't even in the weight class. So I think that Islam's sincerity is very real. And the next thing you have to look at, when they don't go head-to-head, the very next thing we got to look to is common opponent. They have two. Now, it's only in the training room, but they have two, one being Volkanovski. Volkan Islam fought twice. Volkan Jack are teammates. So, right, Jack's got a pretty good idea. How can I do with this guy? And then you got to go back to Belal Muhammad. Belal fought Jack, lost every round, one of them being a 10-8. But when Belal would train with Islam, apparently Islam would get the best of him, but it was a little bit more competitive. So I'm just sharing that even in this world where we're bringing in an Australian and we're bringing in the Dagestani and we're going to bring them out to North America, it's a small world, man. We all know each other. We've all touched each other, or we're separated by 1 degree. So who do these guys? You ask me who I think is going to win. I think who's going to win, whoever they think is going to win. And I think they think it's Islam.
That's where I thought you were going with that, for sure.
What a brilliant analysis.
That was
Sometimes I hear myself and I just think, did you understand how fortunate you are to have access to my capacity? That was such an in-depth and brilliant analysis. I can't even believe that just happened.
It was so easy too. You could do it all over again. I was gonna say, you're talking about Paramount. What if their first phone call isn't to you to lock you in for the? What are we thinking? What, they're off to a terrible start.
We're off to a terrible start. Could you imagine if they didn't call me? I'll tell you this. One thing that with the Paramount deal, just to share this with you, it happened so fast. Everybody's sticking to the same story, so I'm going to repeat it for you. But these are public companies. They kind of got to tell you the right story, that it happened in a weekend. They started talking on a Friday, and before supper on Sunday, it was done. Like a $9 billion deal, and the White House had to sign off on it. Like, it got very complex, and they got it done. The reason I emphasize how quick it happened, I don't know that they know what they're going to do with it. Like, is there a spot for a guy like me? I do pre-show, post-shows, weigh-in shows. Are they going to do pre-show, post-show, weigh-in show? Right now, the only commitment Paramount has made publicly is that they're going to take the actual fights and they're going to put them on Paramount. That's it. We don't know if they're going to do all of the other stuff. We assume that they are, and then there would be a chance for somebody like me. But hey, we're still waiting on that info, and I think they're scrambling to try to figure that out.
Well, they better figure it out. January is almost here.
January's almost here.
Easy choice for me. Hey, Chael, so appreciate you coming on. I know you got a big week. You always make time.
This happens every day.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say it.
It is so fake.
Here's your hat. Here's your hat. What's your hurry?
The three of you just how much? What do we have to
don't
give
put
this
this on me,
guy
Mr. Uncle
before we
Choppy.
can get rid of this guy?
Wow, that is not my sentence.
Yeah, me and JD
Uncle
didn't vote on
Choppy.
this one.
That's right.
Chael, you always make me feel bad. You're like you have like guilt tripping grandma energy when you do this. Only this part. Look at that. I'm sorry, Chael. I'm never trying to hurry you along. One day we're
How
gonna.
come you never find that interesting? I think that's funny. You never think that's funny to look at a guy's cornea? You don't think that's interesting?
I was just gonna ask if you could get it close.
You're a tough guy. Hey, I told you this joke a million times, but you do know what is charming, handsome, and disappears in an instant, correct?
Who's that?
Got us again.
Ah, the legend. I knew that was gonna happen. I considered preempting. I was like, I know, Chael, when it's time to go, you're gonna guilt trip me, but let it happen organically.
I mean, he is in New York City. He's got a lot going on. He's got a lot to do.
Thing is,
he never sleeps because it's the city that.
the dude would just talk wrestling the entire
Yeah.
time. It would be nothing for him.
It's so cool. We had Cormier last week. Now we got Chael, and these are guys that obviously have bigger things, other things that are occupying their time, but they're just wrestling fans, and this is what's fun for them.
They
Love
love
us.
they love wrestling. They're one of us for sure. Okay, what a weekend in wrestling! What a week we have before us, and we've got a lot to get to. I don't know if we're gonna get to questions today, just to let Kozak know that, and because it's already 10:46, 45 minutes, and we got a lot to get to. JD, where are we starting, buddy?
Before we move on,
Okay,
I think we have a new video to show
okay,
everybody.
let's show the video.
Normally Spade talks all next gen, but here we got a video to robots taking
Spade's been fired from Next Gen Reads. We got a video.
Man,
All right, let's go.
rough start.
Space so back.
Wow, Spade's so back. They tried to shelf him. This is all right. We got it. This could be 30 seconds, I think. All right, thank you. All right, we got that. Now we can get into the.
That song was a bop, by the way.
It was a Bob.
All right, let's talk a little Oklahoma State Stanford. It was the best duel of the weekend. Christian Piles, you were boots on ground in Stillwater. How awesome was it?
Cowboy Christian.
That's
Cowboy
right.
Christian.
Hey, listen. First off, I need boots. It was like the cowboy theme. Like everyone was dressed up like Zahid Valencia and Ja'Cory Teemer were there dressed up like cowboys. So I was like, man, I actually do need boots.
Corey Teemer?
Ja'Cory Teemer was there. I think he's just visiting, but I'm not breaking news.
And he was booted up?
I'll boot it, suited and booted for sure.
Okay.
Hey, but listen, it was a great trip. We're there, and a gentleman comes up to me and he's introduced himself. He's like, "Hey, I noticed you have a lot of Iowa books," which is true. We definitely do. He's like, "I wanted to add this one," and the gentleman's name was Kim Parrish. He actually is the author of Cowboy Up, and so he was nice enough to deliver this book. It's signed by John Smith and Kim Parrish. Had a nice inscription there to us. Said big fan of Flo. So thank you to Kim for giving us this, and we will display it proudly here in the studio. And yes, great to add this to the thing. And that's just a theme. Very welcoming. The fans are so excited for Cowboy Wrestling. It was great being around that energy. It was actually a great dual meet, start to finish. Had some upsets, had some standout performances. And Yeah, I mean, the freshmen are the story for Coach Taylor. They went with 5 freshmen Friday, and they all won. And, yeah, the excitement for wrestling in Stillwater is very, very high. We can drill into the different narratives.
Well, for
there.
me, the standout was the bananas.
The bananas.
Bananas. My favorite was the Soulja Boy sunglasses banana.
We actually, I don't know if you've seen, was that on someone else's social? Because we actually did something. Connor and I shot something with the Banana Crew as
I
well.
just saw it on my television.
Okay. Oh, they were on TV, on the TV broadcast.
I mean, they're pretty hard to miss.
Yeah. So, anyways, we talked to the
blend in.
I talked to the leader of the Bananas, and so we'll have a video. It should be out today. Actually, Connor's working on it.
There's a leader.
Yeah, they have a leader.
Ooh.
Well,
Banana.
that's how I framed it.
Not
Anyways.
banana.
I will say, though, they didn't go tarps off and twirl. But I'll give it a pass because they did the bananas.
Yeah, they're in full banana garb. But
Tarp
yeah,
stayed
a
on.
lot of excitement. It was Diego Lopes walked them out. It was fire. Yeah, great atmosphere in
Speaking of
Gallagher.
our boy Connor, the real CP got a bit of airtime. On
Oh, did he?
yeah, ESPN Plus.
Let's go. Yeah, he was
That's what I
he
could
was
see him.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
it was
Okay.
good.
All
Wait,
success.
where are we actually starting other than bananas and Connor Petra?
Let's start with the freshman, like you said, because Landon Robidoux
Mm-hmm.
looked amazing. Is he a title contender this year?
Without a doubt. And I have never had the experience I had about a wrestler in the lead up to this. You know, I told you guys about the little interaction I had with Coach Taylor at the All-Star, where he just gave me this like smile when I asked him about 57, like what they're doing. And I was like, okay, this is going to be, they're excited. And then I get to Stillwater, and I'm just asking, sometimes it's fans, sometimes it's, you know, Coach Zoe, and it's athletes that are kind of around it. And they could not stop talking about Landon. This guy has not wrestled a match for the Cowboys at this point in time. And then I'm finishing up, and the duel's about to start, and I go and I chat up Zahid, and we're talking. And I'm like, all right, give me a name. We're not even for media. I'm just talking to him. And I'm like, give me a name. Who's going to surprise me tonight? He goes, he actually thinks, he goes, Landon Robidoux. He's like, he's got it. And he points to his head. He's got it right here. He's like, you're going to see. He's going to win big. And sure enough, he does. So what this guy has got to be doing in the room has to be so jaw-dropping, because this is a room full of killers.
Yeah.
Right? You've got world champions, you got Olympic champions, you got all these All-Americans and national champions there. Whatever this guy's doing, it stands out in a major, major way. And so he beats Daniel Cardenas by major in his first college match. And you look at this weight, and hey, PJ Duke looms, right? These two true freshmen might be the story here. You've got the returning national champion, Antrell Taylor, is there. This is a weight that's there to be won. It's there to, you know, Antrell could win it. I think PJ could win it, obviously. And I think right now Landon Robidoux can absolutely win this weight as well.
Man, Cardenas just keeps letting me down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, another big week for Team CP in the Pick'ems. Went 5 for 5. We're just heating up. You could get some redemption this week at National Duels, but yeah, that was good.
I don't know. I got to think how we're going to do national duels.
We'll figure
in
something
the
out.
picks.
Maybe we'll just do round ones,
I know.
because we know that's what's happening.
You want to see the results, JD, or do you not?
Let's take a look. Let's
We
take a
don't
look.
have
Let's
to.
take a the
Let's do
people.
an extended break where we look at the results.
We're getting so it won't take long to see just all the green next to CP and 2 red ones. So you got the Ski and Cardenas were your
Yeah.
that was your third pick. And I even warned you about
Hey, you warned me after.
maybe after. Yeah.
These are the totals.
But I did think, I even knew Robidoux was probably going to go, or that was a strong possibility.
Dang.
But I'm just really high on Cardenas, and it's like, okay, I thought Robidoux was going to be like, this is going to be a dogfight, but Cardenas was going to scrap out a win.
Yeah.
Kind of like Ty Waters did against
Yeah.
him. But we're going to go away going, Robidoux can win that one
Uh-huh.
if they see each other again. And Robidoux is a title contender. I thought we were going to come away with that, not holy effing cow. Like, Robidoux immediately
Yeah.
might be my pick to win 157.
Yeah.
Well, it was such a debut because it's like we didn't see much freestyle season from him, and he's a true freshman, not a redshirt freshman. So there's guys that kind of build up the hype, and you kind of see it coming if you're following that closely. This was like, you know, we follow everything that happens, and it was kind of an eye-opener as well.
And for me, like, you know, Robidoux, we can go back there, but D. Lockett winning ugly. true freshmen don't normally win ugly, right? If they're going to pull an upset, you could say it's not an upset, whatever. But beating Hunter Garvin, 2-time All-American, ugly, I think that's a statement in its own right.
Absolutely.
Then you've got Sergio Vega.
Is he a title contender?
I can't go there yet. No. Jesse, listen, 57 doesn't have a Jesse Mendez or Brock Hardy. We'll see. Vega's got to keep climbing up the right because Jack Consiglio and Daniel Cardenas, one of these things is not.
There are levels to this.
Very different. But I love the early returns. I love that this guy looked to score. He looked great in every position, counter scoring.
That ankle pick he hit at the end.
This guy.
Oh, my goodness.
Dude, it's so funny. There's so much. I've never really seen this. There's so much interaction. Like, the guys will do something, and then they immediately look back in the corner like, it's not like for coaching. It's like, did you see that? They're
like when you hit a double in baseball, and then you do your little celebration to the bench.
And I don't know if they're playing to cameraman Dan or what, but like, Connor Doucette did it. He gets to take down. He looks right back at the corner and like, oh man, that's like nasty. It's kind of interesting.
They are stepping up the content game too in the David Taylor era. Cameraman Dan, the Stilly Boys. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Just a cottage industry now of cowboy content.
Cottage industry, one of my favorite industries.
The other result that hindered me this week: Aiden Valencia over Swiderski. So Aiden Valencia loses week 1. And I think all of us were kind of like, okay, that's kind of the Aiden Valencia maybe folk style experience, but that's not maybe representative of his entire level. He was winning that match. Sometimes he just struggles to win, but he is capable of really good things. I didn't see this happening, though, and that's also because I thought Casey looked really good at the All-Star. So I thought, again, it was going to be a dogfight scrap, close, but Casey was going to find a way to win. Aiden's right there. And then, again, I couldn't have been more wrong.
I mean, Aiden was as impressive as anyone Friday night. I was blown away. I think it was the performance of the night, if I'm being honest. Maybe it's up. Maybe Rabidou. What they can scrap it out. But I just thought this was such a statement win. I thought he looked so sharp. His attacks looked so good. And for me, the physicality, how he moved Swiderski around after watching Swiderski move Lackland around pretty well, effectively, I was just really impressed. And I feel like 49 is a weight. This is a guy that can win a national title, in my opinion. And he had it all. He had his offense going and his defense, his counter scores. Aiden Valencia, listen, there's going to be, maybe some tough ones like David Evans. David Evans is obviously also good, but Aiden was up big and he didn't close the door on a match. He got headlocked.
D. Lockett didn't do that.
D. Lockett didn't do that. He did not do that.
That's what he was talking about.
And that's why that win is really impressive to me. That like, hey, win ugly against a guy, Hunter Garvin, that's dangerous in a lot of positions.
Also, Lockett hit a Metzger. I love a good Metzger.
On when?
Didn't he?
I don't know.
Am I making that up?
Hit a nice selling.
Well, he didn't get any takedowns, so I don't know.
I thought it was maybe to a return.
He had a big lift. He skied him out of bounds. He had a big lift and return.
I remember him coming in between.
Maybe.
Come back.
I don't recall that.
Gotta go back and rewatch.
Aiden was definitely a narrative.
Does Stanford wrestle Penn State at collegiate duels?
Yes, they do.
Collegiate, not national collegiate.
Collegiate duels, yeah. December 20th and 20th. I think that's the 21st. That Sunday. Great match. Could see Valencia versus Shane Van Ness. So we'll see if it happens. We're a month and a half away from that, or a month, we'll say, from that one. But yeah, that'd be amazing.
133.
Whoa.
That was maybe the most exciting match
for sure
of the night.
Incredible. I mean, I don't know. I remain curious on what Richie Figueroa is going to be this year. I don't know that if he's a 33. I don't know if that's his best weight. Maybe it is. But Tyler Knox, I picked Knox to win this match. I thought he was going to win. And the number of positions that guy can wrestle in makes him so dangerous because he's not just a counter scramble guy that's good on top. He can generate from his own offense. He gets to legs. And that was, for me, Richie had a hard time keeping him off his legs. And that is an area where Richie's got to be like really good. Now he scrambled well to a point, Richie did with Tyler, but then over time the mat was a big issue. I really thought there was the potentially dangerous. This is a bad PD call. He's tapping out and they call. Oh wait,
Well,
not this one. Oh, they let this one go. I don't know why.
The very next one, it was the exact same thing, and they called it potentially dangerous.
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that at all. But yeah, there was a bad PD there, I thought. And yeah, Richie gave up 9 unanswered points.
11, I think it
11.
was.
Yeah, he just it just went the wrong way for him. So you can't. The pedigree remains for Richie, and this was a match he could have won. And if he beat Tyler Knox, if he just hangs on and wins 10-9, are we talking about it a little differently? Maybe. But he didn't. So I don't know. I'm not selling the farm on Richie as a 33-pounder, but the problems we saw here are the problems we thought he might have at 133.
I mean, it's problems he had at 125.
And it's a tougher.
Just not for one tournament.
He's at a tougher weight class now.
Correct.
And so Richie has really only put one great tournament together in his career, and it's amazing, and you can never take it away from him.
And it's for that reason we're always going to go, does he still have that one tournament in him?
And I interviewed him. I asked him, like, do you feel like you're a guy that can just kind of turn it on? He's like, absolutely.
Well, what's he going to say? No.
Well, I think he should.
Yeah.
I think he should say. I think he should say
It's
no.
the old Richie.
I think you should say
I'm more stable.
no. I can't just. I know now that I can't just turn it on for NCAAs and be like, okay, I'm different, because that's actually what is true in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
One match at 33, you can't, paint the rest or predict
Yeah.
the rest of the season, but it does give you pause when
Well, you've only seen 2 NCAAs. You've seen one where he can turn it on and one where he can't.
Right.
So
We need more data.
We need more data.
We need more data. We need another NCAA
We'll know
tournament. This is
after.
his last run.
Yeah.
He said he thought about like just being done. In the interview I did with him, he's like, I thought about, I'm a national champ, had a good career, did 4 years, but
I mean, it seems like he's been thinking about being done for a long time because he said he thought about being done the year that he won NCAAs.
really,
Yeah.
Just going out on top.
No.
Even though
Before.
Oh, before.
Before he won NCAAs.
College
Dang.
wrestling's effing tough.
yeah, it's not easy.
at least he got to go up a weight class and it's not like back to the 125-pound grind.
It's the number one thing that kills people out of the sport.
That's right.
That's
Weight cut.
Chael
Strong Cold
Sonnen.
Chop. What do you make of Zack Ryder having this close match? Did we all get too high on Zack Ryder? Is this a hangover match?
There were quite a few All-Star Classic dips in performance.
Yeah.
Casey, Zach, Younger almost lost to Braxton Amos. We'll talk about that. Bird had a 3-0. So I don't know. And there's probably some other.
Cardenas.
Cardenas, yeah, back-to-back tough ones. But he looked good at the All-Star.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something like that. I think talking with Zach afterwards, it was like, I think he just got too freaking fired up in that atmosphere. He's like, I had this whole plan. I was going to walk out and do that. And he's like, then I heard the song in the crowd. I just started sprinting and I got up there and I was already like so fired up. So I think you've seen this like in these kind of unique atmospheres that are like really your first time out wrestling in it. Like we've seen this at Carver with guys like where their first time wrestling, even though they're home, that still creates so much excitement. Your performance isn't great. And I think that's kind of what, not putting words in Zach's mouth, but I think that's kind of what he attributed to it.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it was still surprising. Like you scored 12 points on Jackson Smith, and now it's 1-1 in the third period. But he won.
I will say this is maybe a little bit more regression to the mean of the Zack Ryder we saw against the highest level in high school, where he wasn't bonus pointing, your Gabe Arnold types in high school. They were really close, one takedown matches. I do think the new Zack Ryder is going to be more in line of what we saw at the All-Star. But it is notable.
For sure.
197. Cody Merrill had to grit out a tough one.
That was tough. I thought Posada had it. I think tactically Posada could have done things a little differently. Once he got away, he shot in, went right into Cody's wheelhouse. I mean, that guy's really good short offense. And he gave up the takedown at the end. But I really, you want to give credit to both because I thought Posada's riding him. This is over. Like, I really was thinking this match is over. Merrill's not going to get away. And he just kept hustling and he got away. He could have easily, just lost that match or whatever. Got away, ran around, got the takedown, and that's a nice win. Posada is going to win a lot of matches in college.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is good. That's a true freshman. I watched that guy wrestle against Cade Ziola at Who's Number One. I was like, there's really something there. I think he's going to have a great career. So I think similarly about Cody. I think he's going to have a nice year too. I think this is just two really good freshmen, and Cody won.
The bottom position for Cody is a slight area of concern for me. Posada's tough on top, was in high school, but slight area of concern. Something, or more maybe something not area of concern, but I'm keeping an eye on.
Monitor.
Yeah, something to
sure.
monitor.
Yep.
Other big duel. This one was Thursday night. I guess define big, but Iowa's season debut.
If it's Iowa, it's big.
Right. And a lot of new faces in this year's lineup. We got our first look at some of them. What were your thoughts? Let's start 197. What were your thoughts on Indine's first time out in an Iowa singlet?
I've alluded to it. This guy is an unknown. We don't know, right? I love his story. I love the kid's attitude, but those things only get you so far in college wrestling. And so it's a win is a win. And you take that, and that creates some momentum. And getting that first match in Carver, that's just such a different experience for Mo. And he got it done. I think, the mat could be a challenge. That's something I theorized on this show before this match. Like, we don't know. Is he be able to get away from these guys? Liebert was tough on top. Finishing. If he can't blow through a guy, is he going to struggle to finish? So those are the two things to monitor with Indine. I think his effort's high. I think he's going to get every bit out of himself, but we just don't know what that line is. And it's just, you talked about with Ryder, something to monitor, finishing and getting off the bottom for Indine. Those are the things to monitor for sure.
What were your thoughts on Iowa kind of as a whole, as a squad?
We talked about this with Nebraska when they had some sort of results that were like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Everyone's timeline's a little off with national duels next week. So I didn't think this was like the best I'd seen all these guys wrestle. Like Dean Peterson, no first period takedowns, no leg attack takedowns. It was like, I think he had a run around for his only takedown against Damian Ryan. I don't know. I'm monitoring that. It makes me wonder, like, do we see Leo in some bigger duels? I was surprised Chael Voinovich got the nod at 49. I thought it was gonna be a Ryder, and maybe it will be Ryder next week. But I thought Chael did fine. Jordan Williams was, to me, that's how you come out. That guy came out trying to kill his dude the whole time. He's like, I'm better, and I'm going to make that abundantly clear this entire match. And he came out body lock, taking risks, the counter cradle. And that counter cradle was because he was swarming this guy so hard. He's like, get off me, dropped in on the leg, not a good shot, and you got right in Jordan Williams. That's kind of what you want to see when you're the dominant favorite. Go after the guy, even make a mistake or whatever, and you're going to come out on top. I think that's a mindset that fans can get behind.
Yes.
Like that's what it should look like. And so I thought Jordan Williams, what a great debut for him.
And it was kind of I don't know about a breath of fresh air, but, Keeter got ridden out tight, and Dean had the close one. That's the way they started at. Dean Peterson has kind of a close one where he doesn't score a lot. Drake did
what
things,
he does, yeah.
Right. But then Nasir kind of dominated, but then it was like Jordan Williams, boom, I'm here.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So much so that he even got a team point.
Dude, he's going to be the post-match celebration, especially.
Is that why he got it? I heard he also.
Or did he throw a headgear?
He threw his headgear.
Yeah, I heard.
which is They're going to be
headgear.
so silly with those this year.
I heard he was like off the mat for that already.
Yeah.
When can you? When are you allowed to remove?
I don't know.
Somebody tweeted at us and was like, now they're taking headgear points for when you're off the mat.
Yeah.
No, I think he may have thrown it before that.
During the Lehigh UVA Bassett Wranglemania, somebody had like a headgear like break. And so they took it off, and the UVA guys were like, "Oh, headgear's off. That's a point. That's a team point." Like,
Ironically.
yeah, like.
Oh, okay.
But anytime a headgear like came off,
It's ironic until you actually get a team.
it
point.
wasn't known that like the headgear was broken yet. So we just like took it off in the middle of the match, and they were like, "Whoa, that's a team point." I mean, that's gonna be.
Is it off, or if it touches the mat, you can take it off.
You just can't like toss it.
Or he
Yeah,
tossed
you
it to a
can't throw it.
coach.
You
to
can't.
be
Yeah,
like,
let
"Here,
it leave your person.
fix this."
Classless.
And then once they started fixing it,
Jordan Williams also put up a post with the song "Mo Money, Mo Problems" afterwards, which is tremendous. So great.
Lean in.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you should
Oh
do. You
wow.
should- you
Okay,
should do
I got the Jordan Williams.
We got the footage.
All right, we got the footage.
Of this egregious
All right,
behavior.
ready?
I don't know if we can play it.
We can
we
play it.
can-
It's
Okay,
from,
it's
it's on
It's
Twitter.
fine. It's online.
Mhm.
All right, so he gets the
Everything's
pin.
online.
He's great. That's true. So he gets the pin here with the cradle.
say America's
You
on.
just have to check out NFL dubs.
You got to watch till the
Yeah,
end.
that's right.
Watch to the end. So
course
there's the dance.
Yep.
That's-
yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then
Okay,
another
another
dance. And now he undoes the headgear. You can do that.
You can
Yep.
do that.
Yeah.
Down here, ready? Right there. Throw.
Oh.
You catch it?
Yeah.
He tossed it to his teammates
Yeah, as he's going
as he's
off.
walking off.
Wow. That's a big problem.
It is. How am I gonna explain that to my kids when they
Dude, the kids are watching. That's who you feel for. The
Yeah.
kids in the crowd. Now they're seeing this.
What-
Okay.
Think about the kids.
Yeah. Caliendo, he got it rolling there at the end. Angelo Tech, Kennedy Tech. But yeah, the Keeter getting ridden out. I don't know. We'll see.
Credit to Bellerman for showing up. Ned Shuck
They
coaches up a good
scrapped.
team. This is a team that didn't exist like 4 years ago or whatever, and now they're or they weren't D1. And Kentucky wrestling starting to be on the rise.
Dalton Mayer's not nobody.
he lost to Nick Feldman 8-3.
Yeah,
He's ranked in the 20s, 30s somewhere.
32
Yeah.
according to.
Beat Ashton Davis from Cornell.
AJ Rallo's on the bubble too. Right?
Yeah, he's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Shuck's doing a good
He
job.
may have qualified for NCAAs last year, AJ.
So nothing of high concern, things to monitor, just like with Oklahoma State. Yeah, it's things to monitor. But we're going to learn a lot about this team in a week.
Oh yeah.
The Iowa Hawkeyes, they're going to be tested. I mean, Missouri's no joke, and then probably Illinois, but Little Rock, one of them too, and then potentially the Cowboys, they've got a path too that's fraught with difficulty as well.
Tulsa will be the center of wrestling knowledge where all monitoring will finally come
Yes.
to fruition.
From youth to high school or to college now
In Tulsa?
in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tulsa time.
They had the Tulsa kickoff recently, or was that?
I don't think so.
Or it's coming up. Registration is closed soon.
Iowa had a big night last night, picking up a couple recruits.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, yeah. They went crazy. They got 5 commitments.
Shooting fish in a barrel.
2 Bachmans, 2 Kennys, and Israel
28.
Borge.
Doubles of the Kennys and doubles
Does
of the
Borge have
Bachmans.
any brothers? Yeah.
Yeah, Borge Bros.
Now they need triple.
We're looking into the Borge family tree, but look at this
That's
graphic.
graphic. That's a beautiful graphic.
Almost ran out of room. You do that one?
I did this one. I had man, it almost broke me Instagram last night
Really?
because I originally made this bracket in square form,
Graphic.
but then it cut off these subsequent ones. So I had to
Oh.
go back in the lab. And, I had to get there. So
But it paid off.
oh yeah,
Look at those jersey singlets at Fargo. You got the Godfather one there with
Mhm.
Paul, and then Sean's got the MTV style.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although I don't know what MTV has to do with New Jersey.
It does. You don't have to think that hard about it.
Okay,
Just
got it.
Look at the cool singlet.
MTV.
Godfather didn't really take place in New Jersey.
So these are big.
It's New York.
Yeah, great guys to get, the Bachmans and Kennys, good prospects there, and then Borge. It's this is what they needed. Iowa's needed some. They've done well in the transfer portal, but getting these elite high school kids to sign on is what they needed, and that's what they got. So the lineup synergy, you can start playing the worry game. Like, well, what if they're the same? Like, we're talking about for the young Bachman and young Kinney. they're not going to be wrestling in an NCAA tournament potentially until 2030. So the idea of like worrying about a weight classes, like so much has to play out. We're going to be halfway through the next Olympic quad potentially before. So the bottom line is you want to get talent into your room. That's what this does. These guys are all 5 great prospects, and the weight stuff, that's problems for.
You did say they fit like a glove, though.
It's like a glove. It does. There's 5 of them. There's 5 fingers on most hands, and it's going to fit like a hand in a glove.
Which Ben did have a hilarious response.
5-sided fistagon.
Well, I say that because that's in my mind, because when people say, because I was watching, I've watched The Last Dance like 10 times, and when Jordan comes back, they ask Pippen like, how did he fit? He goes like a hand in a glove, in his cool Scottie Pippen voice. So now that's why I said that.
I was just doing Ace Ventura. Is immediately where my head is.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that.
Like a glove.
Yeah, he drives his car crazily, but then he hits a parallel parking thing like on a skid.
Okay.
He drifts into the parallel parking spot and he comes out and he says, like a glove.
Like a glove, exactly. So I think it's great, and I think they'll find ways to make it fit. So yeah, good job by the Hawks.
Apparently, Israel does have a brother who's committed to Missouri.
Uh-oh.
So
For now.
that's what I said in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
No inside info.
No inside info, but we'll just say for now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to talk a little Nebraska Army. What did you think of the heavyweight debut of a one big red Ferrari?
It's very much the, it's the AJ we've seen, right? He's hard to get to. He's not gonna be a volume attacker. He's gonna ride. He's great on the mat. He gets away and he rides hard. This has been AJ from day one since he got to college, and it's a ranked guy. Win and move on. If you think AJ Ferrari's gonna come in and be a bonus point machine, that's just not gonna be the case against ranked opponents. But he's gonna be darn hard to get to. I thought he looked good for the weight. I think you put on that much weight. We've seen guys get way bigger, and like even David Taylor talked about this. Like your tank is not there right away. And so I wanted to see, all right, how tired is AJ at the end of this match? He looked like he held up really well, and that's an important thing. And you could say, oh, AJ, of course he's in shape. Of course. It's just a different thing when you put on 40 pounds, right, of how your body's gonna react to that. And I thought that was the most important thing. This guy didn't gas out. He didn't get tired. He didn't look tired. And that was a realistic possibility here. So win and move on. You beat the number 14 guy, and you got a big challenge ahead of you next week.
I also think that could be something that separates AJ from a large portion of the heavyweight field is his gas tank, right, in that grid. And
he's Chael talked about it. The mindset is a differentiator.
Yes.
He's
tough.
He can tell his body, no, keep going. And I'm not saying the others don't, but
sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't. And AJ kind of always does.
And I think another differentiator, of course, is he charges himself like a Tesla every day.
Dude, that comment cracked me up. Yeah, that was hysterical.
I don't know how much those photons really do help, but I would have to figure out a way to get the setting off so it doesn't beep the whole time.
That's the most important part.
I would not be able to handle that.
You could handle it.
If you don't know, we are talking about a video Connor Petros and I did with AJ Ferrari that came out Thursday last week. So go check it out.
Yeah,
really
a lot of
only
you did.
half a day too, right? I mean, like,
yeah,
the amount of content that you could get from just one half a day, it looks like you were there with him for a week.
Y'all have to admit, throwing the bones in the splits, that's tough.
The bones are good. Yeah, I didn't know. He said he was good. Did you know the bones were coming?
No, he wouldn't tell me.
He wouldn't even tell you.
He said, I got something. First duel. He wouldn't tell me though.
Explain to this chopped unk what the bones mean, please.
So that's the thing Nebraska does because their defense football.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Skull and crossbones. So this is like crossbones underneath the skull. You know, that's what they call their defense and the black shirts. So that's a big Nebraska thing. This is called throwing your bones.
How about how loud it got after he won because they wanted him to do the splits?
Dude, you know who didn't want it?
Manning didn't like it.
Manning.
Like Manning.
Can I pull that in? Can I pull that
Yes.
video in? Okay.
What do you think AJ Ferrari's going to do after he wins in the Devaney Center? Give the people what they want. Listen, you brought in a guy, he throws the splits after he gets a big dub. Let the man show his...
He answers the door at 8 a.m. in his underwear. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Those were shorts. All
Those
cotton.
are shorts.
100% natural cotton.
But yeah, good win. We can move on. But yeah,
Also, shout out Bud Crawford for walking the team out.
that's pretty cool.
The stars were out. They did the 2 banners for their 2 champs, and they had
Burrows.
Crawford, and then Jordan Burroughs, who him and AJ Ferrari didn't always get along so well, but now they're best friends again.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if they're best friends. They did do a nice little cameo
that
at the
was
end.
nice.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
best friends.
Jordan's classy.
You're gonna go. He's gonna
Jordan
see
takes the
Jordan
higher.
on the back of Ferrari as he rides his scooter around, just like you got to ride around with him, mate.
That's right. All right, I want to talk a little Cyclone Invite
Whoa.
as well. I felt like we learned a decent amount there, but we got to start with heavyweight.
Absolutely.
Braxton Amos. Okay, what do you make of this? Is this stock up Braxton Amos or stock down Younger Bastida? Because this was one of the top matches of the weekend.
I'm stock up Braxton all day. Listen, the guy was shelved. He was hurt. He's been at the wrong weight class, which, I understood why he was down at 197, but
He's at the right weight class.
he's at the right
That's a
weight now.
big boy.
He is, as JD would say, thicker than a Snicker.
Yes.
But he's using it well. Listen, and Kyvan brought this up on the broadcast. He said Younger went like all the entire season up till like NCAAs without giving up a takedown. And he's like, I think it's good. And so Braxton gets a beautiful counter takedown. Dropped the hips, pulled near ankle, circled, and scored. But it's not just that score. Braxton was in deep on legs and not getting counter scored against Younger, who's really dangerous. He eventually did get counter scored. But Braxton was trying to build the lead, and Younger, he figured it out and got it done. And Younger's pedigree is really high. But for me, there's another contender at heavyweight. I'm not saying Braxton Amos title contender for sure right now, but that looks like a guy that can place, that he's going to be another tough out for the Feldmans and the Keters. And, for those power teams, AJ Ferrari, right? Like that's going to be a match. So I'm thrilled, knowing the Amos family for a while now. Braxton's a great kid, great family, and just pumped to see him back and healthy. Because that's just awesome. So
Yeah, the 2021 season that he had, it was so much hype because he was U20 gold in freestyle and bronze in Greco. He was wrestling everything. He made the team trials.
Olympic trials finals.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Greco.
Made a world team.
Yep. So he's been wrestling all the time, but then injuries, and then he was 97 kilos, which is 212 or whatever. And so he was just a naturally bigger guy. 197 probably wasn't the right weight. I get it. Trent Hilger's on your team. They're good friends. But, now to finally see the true form of Braxton Amos in a Wisconsin singlet, it's been a long time coming.
I will say this. He was the better wrestler in that match for 5.5 minutes.
yeah,
But to what you were talking about, mindset and why AJ's different, Younger takes the lead with, I don't know, was it 20 seconds to go?
It was
got
50.
the ride out.
Yeah, it was like
And not even just the ride out, Braxton didn't get off of his knees.
Yeah.
More or less submitted and just kind of accepted. That
Braxton-
I thought, and maybe, I don't know how fatigued he was. Like you said, he's got a lot of weight now. I don't know, but that to me, I was like, no attempt there in the last 15.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's a lot of effort throughout the match, and maybe he just ran out.
Yeah.
It could be.
Obviously, I'm sure he was exhausted, but
Yeah.
sorry. I do have the AJ split. If
Okay.
this is
Get it.
worth watching. It's only 10 seconds.
Okay.
So we can pull that in now.
So we got.
There it is. There's the split. Watch Manning. Oh, nope, don't do it.
No. Oh, let me look away. I
You
can't
even
watch.
look at it.
All right, get over here.
All right, that's enough. I mean, this guy, he does splits. This is what he does.
I think he's looking more flexible this year than last year even.
He has more weight coming down
Ooh, yeah.
to
That,
drive.
that forces the legs down.
Yes.
Out.
Those tendons
Yeah.
working overtime.
Yeah, OT for sure.
Rocky Elam was back on the mat. That was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Dresser feels like every time he talks, he's talking about like the pitch count for Rocky. But to see him already at this point, I mean, you were wondering like, because I forget, maybe you asked like, will he wrestle against Iowa? I was like, I think for sure. But now, if you're wrestling this, yeah, definitely.
Frost was back down at 41.
You need to specify.
Evan.
But he's going down to 33. They said he would do this descent. Dresser did.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why it was.
He probably weighed in.
Right.
At Chimendia, and yeah, it'll take him another. Oh.
I would have loved to see Zan Fugit versus Evan Frost.
Mm-hmm.
Zan's an interesting guy, man.
Yeah, they got a good team this year. They got some guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Pinheiro looks good, I thought, but my standout, 165, Connor Newton. He's going to be a problem.
We've been saying it.
I know he looked
You tried to put him out of the lineup.
potentially. Well,
Now,
I needed to see. Okay, so he had a great. The dresser was high on him. He has a great opening period or whatever at the Cyhawk.
All we needed
That's
to see.
all we were going on. I was like,
it.
I don't know if I'm ready to jump in yet. I'm diving in.
They love him.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be a guy contending for All-American status.
he's he's fun to watch too.
He's a goer for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be very excited. As you think about this, man, this Cyhawk, I'm trying to get ahead of myself because there's so much great stuff in front of it. But that could be a huge match there.
I'm looking forward to Cyhawk Day. We're having a team barbecue.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Also got to figure out how to pronounce Connor's last name because Dresser called him Uten.
Well, you can't trust Dresser.
I know you can't, but I'm just saying I want to get ahead of that too.
It seems like it should be Uten.
Uten.
Yes, that's what I would think. Like
Uten family, Uten family. If you're listening there in Ohio, I'm pretty sure he's from Ohio. Drop the line, drop a comment, email Spay,
Subscribe,
subscribe, and just let us know how to say his kid's name.
And
Hey,
what-
do they have the pronunciation guides like Iowa does?
Let me check.
Iowa
You
has
can't always trust either.
Iowa has the most hilarious. So they've got all these recordings on all the. I think it's just an Easter egg to make us laugh, personally.
Well, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that was
Absolutely.
amazing
Oh, they do.
discovery.
Oh no. Okay, let me see.
So Iowa, they have
Got
all the-
Uten.
they have the same one.
Oh,
Oh, now he's listening to me. Oh yeah, do I need to
sorry.
be quiet
Mute.
or just
It's-
mute FRL?
well, no. It's the V mix thing. I gotta find that.
Dang
Sorry.
it, Kozak.
Anyways, the Iowa there's all these pronunciations. It's like a machine or just like a some guy. And then for Caliendos, it's Tom Brands, and he just goes Caliendo.
Not
Michael.
Mike, not Mikey, not Michael, which normally you say the first and last
Yeah.
name, just Caliendo.
It's just Caliendo. So maybe
One that I don't think many people had that much trouble with Caliendo.
well now I think you're supposed to say it with that kind of flair.
That's
maybe
true,
that's
yeah.
the challenge. from
It's
Coach
literally
Brands.
giving me troubles because I can't not say it like that.
Yeah. All right, now we got Michael Caliendo
All right.
coming
Here's
to that.
here's
Caliendo,
Connor's.
and on the takedown.
I got the pronunciation guide for.
Okay,
Connor.
here we
Ready?
go.
We're all gonna be surprised together.
All right. It is Uten.
Uten.
So it'll be Uten. All right. Now let's go to Iowa's.
Okay.
Let's go to Iowa's
Play the
page.
Caliendo.
You should do Drake's first
Okay.
and
Which
do
I say that wrong.
Ayala.
Ayala.
Drake Ayala.
Okay, so it's just like that kind of automated thing. That's not even like a real person. That's like yeah.
Nasir Bailey.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to Caliendo.
Caliendo.
That has to be just an Easter egg from the Iowa. Like, are these degenerates that are listening to all the things? Should you play it again?
Yeah. Ready?
Caliendo.
Perfect. I think Tom should do all the pronunciations.
Yeah.
I do too. However he wants. I don't care if it's right.
Yeah.
It just becomes their name now. Like Joe Theismann used to be Thiesman, but he changed it to rhyme with Heisman. Now all the Hawkeyes are. You didn't know that?
Oh, I didn't.
Wow. Yeah.
As a Redskin fan, I should probably, but
Growing up,
he's
it-
a little before my time.
Yeah. But yeah, now all the Hawkeyes have to change the pronunciation of their names just to whatever Tom says it is.
Caliendo's right. Okay. Well, I'm glad we talked about Uten so we can get to Caliendo. But yeah, good showing for the Cyclones.
They swept 8 of the weights.
They got a lot of good guys. They have a good team.
What else kind of odds and ends did we have going down?
Yeah, Kozak was going to run through that.
Yeah. We hit some of them. The Larkins were wrestling, which
Yes.
is great. They dominated, but they also wrestled in the freshman-sophomore division, which I feel like they are good enough to enter the Open.
Why? Just because Caleb Larkin wrestled at the Olympic trials and beat Jesse Mendez?
You know, I didn't take that into consideration.
just
but-
because he did that, you think he's ready for the Open division at Michigan State?
yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, that definitely was alarming, but I think for them, they just wanted him to get matches and win and not get hurt. And so Mission
They're
accomplished.
successful with that.
They're successful. Check and check.
Yeah, we're gonna find out a lot here this week with.
There's no freshman sophomore division of the National Duels Invitational. We looked into it.
Right. Cade Ziola, he beat Coy Hopke.
Mm-hmm.
But
But then lost to Bennett Tabor.
lost to Bennett Tabor.
That's an added wrinkle. We talked about this Southeast Open. Hopke won, and then he beats Mullen, so it's like, okay, it's him. But then for Tabor to get the win there, it's like, all right, that Kozak, you said that that was a close competition, and you weren't kidding.
Yeah, that's what word inside the Minnesota camp was saying that it was going to be.
Hey, I'm just asking. We're just doing live on the air. Amanda, do we have like 5 minutes we could go extra, or is it hard out? Okay. Because we got to at least talk a little more national duels here, just like on the, we got some stuff we got to get to.
Speaking of Nebraska freshmen, I want to say shout out Zinkin, Nikkei Zinkin, because he had a gritty overtime win, and he's going to be a fun one to watch. He's always getting into these long scrambles.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Any other odds and ends for?
Any other odds and ends? It's Stoney Buell time. He looked good down at 157.
Stoney.
He's going 57 now that Joey Blaze is up at 165. And then the only other thing to add, we don't have to go too far into this, but this is going to be a theme this year. 149, it's a broken weight class.
It's broken.
It's broken.
But I feel like it can't be broken if the number one guy stays number one.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's always going to.
SVN runs the table.
If SVN, yeah.
But I think there could be hope. I think with Aiden Valencia, I think he looks really good. Maybe David Evans.
He's off to a consistent start.
And then what Caleb Larkin did at the freshman sophomore division, if he can do that
in the junior senior
in the
divisions.
senior division, then there might be some hope.
There's hope
on the horizon.
This is a classic ranker's lament when you just have a division that is broken, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Little national duels talk before we go. Saturday, Sunday is the National Duels Invitational. We can pull in the bracket if you want. Just a couple things you guys should know. We're going to have, of course, every duel is going to be live streamed on FloWrestling with the exception of the finals. We're going to have different commentary teams on every single mat. I'm going to be partnered with Hardell Moore, the Oklahoma State play-by-play. We got the bad boy mat, the Wild Boys, JD Rader and Trent Hidley. No tables or chairs are going to be safe with these two maniacs. John Kozak paired with my guy, Matt McDonough. Probably going to be on the Iowa duels. And, of course, the legend Jim Gibbons going to be joining David Bray. So that's the commentary teams. And then we have the fifth stream. We used to call it Flow Zone. They don't want to call it that anymore. I forget what they are actually calling it. But it's Flow Zone with Shane Sparks. He's going to be going to all the best matches at all times. Shane's done this before for like Big Ten Network and I think even for ESPN. So if you just want to sit and you're not like into one particular team, go to Shane's mat and he'll be taking you to all the best matches. If there's a duel you want to lock in on, you're going to be able to do that. So it's going to be an incredible weekend of wrestling. I can't tell you, my son's Caleb's coming with me. I can't tell you, he's like, national duels are going to be so awesome. They're going to be so awesome. I can't wait. And we know that y'all are feeling the same way. Get started Saturday, 9 a.m., Iowa versus Missouri, Illinois versus Little Rock, UNI versus NC State, and Oklahoma State versus Cornell. And then right after that, that's the top half. Bottom half right there at 11, Virginia Tech, Minnesota, Arizona State, Michigan, Lehigh versus Nebraska, and Ohio State versus Wyoming kicking it off. And then I think we have a break until 3 when we'll have first round of consolations. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll have those quarterfinal matches right there. So going to be a great Saturday. And then Sunday, the semis. Can you scroll over just a little bit because I can't quite see it, Johnny? At 10 a.m., we're going to have the championship semifinals.
And this is, if you want to show your pastor this, I'm giving you permission. You're allowed to miss church one Sunday.
Father John.
And it's online, and there's a live stream. If you need a live stream that's archived, I can send you the First Baptist Church of Round Rock. We're going to have that. So you're good. This has been blessed. John will be on the scene working on the Sabbath. So.
Also what is going to help is I'm canceling the NFL.
NFL's canceled.
NFL's done. The Commanders are done. The Giants
are
over.
washed. They're as chopped gets.
This is perfect timing. The National Duels could not come at a better time to distract me from the worthless Washington Commanders season that's already up in smoke, and we've got our star quarterback's elbows going the wrong direction.
Take the NFL and you flush it.
But wrestling's going the right direction. So we need to talk about that. Man, I knew this show was going to be slam-packed. It was even more slam-packed than I thought it was going to be. We need to talk about Nike wrestling second and foremost.
Yeah, and make sure we get that in there. Is Nike wrestling offers so much more than just elite performance footwear. We've talked about the footwear. You go to athleteps.com to get your footwear, but they also have a team of world-class designers and apparel experts. Nike Wrestling can service all your team outfitting and event merchandising needs, from design to production to on-site execution. And there's a email that you should go contact team sales at athleteps.com to get started.
Well, that's great. All right.
Get started. Go do it now as soon as the show ends.
Any just chat sentiment you need to pass on, Kozak, or how are they doing?
Yeah, they're convinced you are not taller than Jordan Burroughs. That was the big chat sentiment. I'm not joking. That was in the chat.
How does that come up?
Somebody said they saw you. They were excited to see you at the Oklahoma State tailgate. They said they saw you walking around Oklahoma State, and then they said that you're a short king.
Well, I am. I don't disagree that I'm short. All I've said, I showed you the picture of me and Jordan side by side. Listen, it's not a flex. It's not like I'm like,
yeah, on your tippies. So
it just came. I was not on my tippies. Dang it. I think. Listen, Jordan's coming to Austin. He's like gonna be like a speaker for. We have this giant like basically Flow Sports. It's called an offsite, which maybe that's what other businesses call them too.
All hands.
I've only been at like Flow as a corporation, but everyone comes. It's this super sick thing, and like Jordan's gonna come, and I'm gonna like interview him. It's gonna be inspirational to all the people here because Jordan's an inspiring guy. So yeah. Anyways, we'll be here and we'll find out if he's taller than me. It's not gonna be by much, and I'll even let you smash down my hair because I got more hair than Jordan. All right. So that
He can grow it out.
he could grow it out. If he grows it out, I'll grow mine out even harder. I've already got a head start, so don't even think about it, Jordan. All right, guys, we got to go. Unfortunately, I could do this all freaking day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Nike Wrestling. Thank you to Chael Sonnen, the legend, the GOAT, FRL Hall of Famer, John Kozak, Andrew Spade, JD Rader. Great job, as always. We got so much National Duels content coming your way. Be on the lookout for all our Oklahoma State content from this weekend. And, yeah, we will see you Thursday, last show before National Duels. It's going to be awesome. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.